Guys, in this video, we will be learning what is intrinsic numpy array creation functions in Python. Numpy has over 40 built-in functions for creating arrays as laid out in the array creation routines. These functions can be split into roughly three categories based on the dimension of the array they create. First is 1D, one-dimensional array. Second, 2D array, two-dimensional array. Third is ND arrays. So we'll be talking about 1D array in this tutorial. There are two functions, right? One is arrange function, second is linspace. So these two functions will covering in 1D array. Okay. So I'm using editor PyCharm. Python 3.12 version is installed on the machine. We have to first make sure whether we have installed numpy library on the machine or not. In order to check numpy is installed on the machine or not, we have to open terminal and just type one command pip list. This command shows all library installed on the machine. You see, so these are the total libraries which are installed on the machine. Numpy is there, so we don't need to install this. If you want to install this library, then you have to type one command pip install numpy. Okay, if you want to specify the version, you can specify version. Okay, so I have already installed this library on the machine. Okay, let me close it out. Right, in order to use numpy, we have to say import numpy. Okay, I'm creating alias np. Okay, so this is the one thing we are going to see. What is numpy arrange method? Okay, so numpy arrange method is nothing but it creates array with regularly incrementing values. So let me create a variable array1 dot arrange. We have to specify the value of the argument, that is for how many elements you are going to create. Okay, if you print the type, right, so you will get to know which type of object it is returning, and then finally you'll be printing the output of the array. If you run the program, so you will see the output. So the type of the array which arrange function is returning, that is nd array. Okay, and the elements in the array which we have in the object are 0 to 9. Okay, so we have specified 10, so that's why 10 elements are created in the order. If you specify any other number, it will use. We want to specify till 5, we have to arrange, so you will see 0 to 4. Okay, we have other arguments also. If you want to start your array with a specific number and you want to stop it with a specific number, then you can also use this thing. Okay, so let me copy the code, and this time I am taking variable 2. So I am going to start my array from 2. I want to stop it on 10. So it started from 2 and ended, before 10, means total these elements would be creating. We have, say, this is start and this is end. Okay. If I want to say, okay, my interval would be, 3, or it would stop at 50. So the array would be starting from 2 and it will take interval of 3 and it will be stopped at 50. Okay. So if you run the program, so you will see it started from 2, it took interval as 3, 2, 5, 8, 11. Okay, and then last it ended before 50, right? Okay, we have one more argument here. If you want to specify the type of the element, so you can also specify the type. And if I wanted to say it should be float, so the float elements would be creating. Okay, 2 to 5, I want to take interval 3, 2. Okay, I'm taking 0.1 as a interval. Okay, then it will create many elements, right? You see 2.2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Okay, so we have seen the data type we can change anytime. Okay, float, integer, anything we can take. Okay, so this is the advantage of arrange function. We can create these type of array easily. Okay, with the help of numpy library. Now let's see what is numpy linspace. Okay, linspace will create arrays with a specified number of elements and spaced equally between the specified beginning and end values. Okay, array 3 as a variable, and I'm going to use numpy.linspace. Okay, so this is the function which we are going to use. Start is 1, stop is 10. This third argument is for how many samples we are going to create. Let me take the 5 sample, so it will create 5 sample. Okay, 3 3. Let me run the program. It created 5 samples, 5 element, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, this is starting, this is stopping point. It was the interval, but here it is the samples, number of samples, how many elements we are going to create in this array, right? So interval it will create automatically, right? If you see the documentation, so we have start, okay, we have stop, we have number. Okay, the number which I'm talking about, this, how many intervals. Okay, linspace. So if you see here, so here we have start, we have stop, means when we are going to stop. Okay, num, it will show you, this is a parameter. The num is number of samples to generate. Okay, default is 50. Okay, default is 50. If we leave it, so it will create 50 elements, right? 50 samples, right? So this is what the purpose of endpoint means. Endpoint would be true, means it will end on the stopping point. If we are saying endpoint, let me close this documentation. Endpoint, let me say true, which means it will stop at the stopping point, right? 10. Here is the default is 10. Let me take number of samples 4. Then it will take last point, last element is 10. Okay. If you observe, the interval is different, right? But the endpoint we have passed on true, it means it will be equal to the stopping point, stopping element. Okay, if you I make it false, by default it is false, so you will see element was not the last one. Okay, in the sample, in the last sample. So that is the difference. Okay, there is one more. If you see the documentation, we have this rat step. What does that mean? Rat step, if true, where step is the spacing between samples. Okay, if you, let's say, if you see endpoint true and that is tab true, which means it will actually returns you the excluded element, right? Means 3 was not taken in the interval, so it excluded this last sample. Okay, and the output is different. You see the output is different for this ret step argument. If I make it true, okay, if I make it false, by default it is false, so it will give you the same output as it was previous, right? 10 in form of array and the array. Okay, so you can see the documentation on numpy official websites. There is a documentation, you can use it. However, arrange and linspace functions seems similar, but there is a difference. If you want to create array on interval basis, you can use arrange. If you want that how many elements with automatic interval, and you want to create your elements on your desired number of samples, then you can use linspace. Okay, we have also endpoint rat step here. Here we have d type also, right? This, so I have make it int, so it will create all element in int. Okay, that brings us to the end of the today's video. We hope you found it informative and engaging. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content on all things tech related. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.